Hey everybody, this is a spring fever playoff game between the Birmingham Stallions and the New Orleans Saints. And joining this game in progress, it's 0-0 in the first quarter, 6:18 to go. We got a short gain here on a 3rd and 4 as the Stallions pick up the first down against the Saints. The Saints were looking for a run call there. I'm going to do the play-by-play on this, but I need to go help one of my kiddos with something. So I'm going to leave you alone for a second, and I'll be back. So the Stallions are driving. Okay, bye. Be right back. Okay, Coach. Can you please clean up those dishes and put them away and put some in? Okay. Thanks. Okay, I'm back, and it looks like the drive by the Stallions has continued all the way down the field. Second and goal, the one linebacker to Matt Ryan. We had an incomplete pass on 1st and goal. Offensive center +5 or 0, and that's a touchdown. And the Stallions will take the early lead with 3:54 to go in the first quarter. So 7-0. Joe Ribble and his Birmingham Stallions against Jean Lafleur and his New Orleans Saints. Lafleur, which is perfect for the Saints because that's their symbol, the fleur de lis, and they take over. Ryan Tannehill, Jeremy Hill, Golden Tate, Virgil Green, Nate Washington, and AJ Green are their starting skill position players. The Stallions have Senderic Marks as a starting nose tackle, 4'11", 1. Tommy Kelly at right in 5'0", and Calais Campbell at the other end, 6'6". So they come out 3 wide against the 3-3-5. Nate Washington's covered by a 0. Everybody else is covered by a 5. Saints pass blocking is very good. 7. Off tackle right to Hill. Long gain. Jeremy Hill busts one on an 11 roll, and he's going to the house, folks. 80-yard touchdown run by Jeremy Hill. Oh, my stars and garters. Goodness gracious. Look at that. Wow. Lucky roll, says Gene. But he was kind of hoping for it. And you got to with that card. That card can be a problem up in these streets. I'm telling you. If you hit in the middle, it's not good. But if you hit on one of those edge numbers, man, that's a big hit. So suddenly that 7-0 lead's gone away. But guess what? There's a 7-point lead coming right back as Travaris Cadet takes the ball at the 2. He goes 99 yards all the way in for the touchdown. And just like that, in the span of 30 seconds, we have seen 2 touchdowns. Woo, man, that's a big hit on both sides. One on an 11 roll, guessed wrong. The other one on snake eyes on the kick return. That, folks, is why a 99-yard return on 2 is much better than a touchdown roll, as the touchdown will turn into a long gain 1 of every 6 rolls. So you much rather have that 99er, and Cadet hit it at a big time. He hasn't hit it all season, but he hit it right now. 21 points in 3 plays. Yes, back-to-back-to-back touchdowns, not counting the extra point, of course. And we've seen some action since I came back to call this game. Big time excitement here in New Orleans. So the Stallions will kick off to the Saints, and they get the ball 8 yards deep and take a knee for a touchback. So let's take a look back, because like I said, I joined this game in progress. Let's look at the ball possession. So we had the Saints get the ball first. They went 6 plays and punted. Then the Stallions got it. They went 3 and out. Saints got it back. Went another 5 plays, got 32 yards, and ended up at the Birmingham 38, but punted. And then we had a 7-play, 80-yard drive that resulted in the touchdown we saw, where Matt Ryan plunged into the end zone, I believe. Then, boom, back-to-back plays. Jeremy Hill, long gain, and a kickoff return for a touchdown. And that's where we're at, folks. We had a long gain guess right there. Tannehill was looking for A.J. Green, and he just missed the incomplete spot. Or just missed the long gain spot and hit an incomplete, excuse me. So it's 2nd and 10. It's an interesting strategy that Gene's using here, because there are no 6 linebackers, so the 6 wide die rule could help him. Flat pass right to Golden Tate, picks up 7. Tannehill, his strength is the flat pass guard. And you have Jeremy Hill, who's very similar right and wrong. But when he is guessed wrong and he hits one of those edge numbers, he can go for big distance. So I kind of like it. I kind of like what Gene's doing here. 3rd and 3. Now he switches to a I formation. He's got Virgil Green in the game as a 6th-rated blocking back. So he's got a 6 off tackle, 5 off tackle, 6 left guard. The role is blocking back 0 or +2. And Virgil Green's rating makes the play, but that's not much of a choice. Didn't get any yards. Would like to see that have a little bit better chance of success, but just hit a bad number. So 4th and 3, he'll punt. Birmingham's Dexter McCluster is back to receive it, and he picks up 7 yards on the return. So 1:30 to go in the first quarter. We've had a lot of fireworks here. That was a 3 and out. we've seen that a couple times as well. But when these guys hit, they're hitting big. Go big or go home, indeed. Now we see Joe doing something similar, except he's going four wide with no tight end. The nose tackle is Marcel Darius, who's a 5'10 here. Then their D line is Michael Bennett, 6'8, and Willie Young, 5'11 1. Off tackle left to Turbin. Guessed wrong, but it hits the dreaded 5 roll, and that's 0-yard gain. 2nd and 9. McCoy in the backfield now in a 3 wide set. The defense responds. It looks like they're a 4-3 base, so they go 5-5-6-6 across. Will he go 4-2-5, 4-3, or 3-3-5 here? That's the question. Turbin has a really nice card. Guess wrong. McCoy's not quite as steady, but he has some big numbers on his. They go 3-3-5. Flat pass right to McCoy. 4-rated pass linebacker in that zone. Guessed right. Linebacker in zone. Extra short gain. That's a short gain. The white die was a 5, and Babin's 4 rating did not make the play. That picks up 11 yards, and it's 1st and 10. Stallions leading by 7 up to the 46-yard line. Slowing down here a little bit as one of the coaches is trying to figure something out. Getting the abacus out, counting their chances. Listen to their wife as she tells them what her plans are for the day. Who knows? There we go. 4 wide against the 3-3-5. Now, the Stallions' skill players, Des Bryant, Andre Holmes, Robert Turbin, Mike Wallace, and Anquan Bolden. Turbin, he's got that excellent off tackle and linebacker card. Made a user drop. Flat pass right to Bolden. There's a 4-rated linebacker there. I don't know if that was one of the protagonists. No, it wasn't. So that picks up 7 yards. Guess right. So somebody who's trying to join the game as a spectator, but they had not put in the requisite pre-files. You need to load the pre-files first. Not sure if I need to say that, but let's see who's in the Machi network. That'll tell me who tried to join. Linebacker draw to Turbin, and it's a run call, so that's going to be keyed, and that's going to lose a yard. If he had not called a draw and just called a straight run, it would have been 0-yard gain. So it's still a makeable 3rd and 4. We still see a 4 wide set with Turbin in the backfield. User dropped again because you didn't load the pre-file. I gotta send something out. Let's download this pre-file for them. Send that out. So four wide, 3-4. Let's see if I can attach this real quick before we have the play. Pace of this game is going a little slow. This would be one of the games that would be good to just record silently and then watch it and do the dubbing after that. Off tackle right to Turbin. Guess wrong, but the white die 1 will bite him in the ass if it comes up. It does not come up. Plus 16. Guess wrong. The white die was a 3. So good call there by Joe. And first down, Stallions at the Saints 32 now. First and 10. Looks like the offense is going 3 wide with LaShawn McCoy in the backfield. Oh, Hunter. Oh, okay. Perfect. Mike Wallace in the game is the third wideout. Mercedes Lewis is the tight end. Long pass to Wallace, covered by a 5. Plus 29 on the quarterback's card. Matt Ryan nails him, hits him in stride, and he's brought down at the 3. First and goal, Stallions at the Saints 3-yard line. Short pass to Mercedes Lewis. Pass call. 4-man in zone, incomplete. Hunter. Good. Second and goal. Short pass to Dwayne Allen. 4-man in zone run call. Plus 12, touchdown. So Joe's gotten Gene off balance today, and it's paying dividends. It'll be 21-7, Birmingham in front. There's still a lot of time left, though. 12:36 to go in the half. Kick is up and good. And now the Saints will try to get either a big return or a big drive going to get them back in the game. 9 yards deep, Josh Brown, and he'll take a knee, and he'll start. No, he brings it out. Still starts at the 20, but he was looking for that plus 78. That could have been very dangerous with the 7 and 8 being 10 and 11. And the 12 being 12 on Josh Brown's return card. He could have started the drive at his own 2 or 3. Saints go out 3 wide. Watch for that long pass to Nate Washington at some point. Off tackle right to Jeremy Hill. Guess wrong. But the white die 1 makes it a guess right call. It wouldn't have made a difference. Those middle numbers are not big gainers for Hill. You want to hit an edge with him. Now, that would have been a snake eyes or 12. And the white die came up. That would have been bad. 11 and 12 really is the big numbers. Second and 10, 3 wide. DeAnthony Thomas checks into the game. These guys are using similar strategies because you have Joe going 3 wide with Robert Turbin, who's got the big numbers in the middle of his card. Check out the numbers on DeAnthony Thomas. He's got short gains all over the place. But if that white die one comes up, that could be a disaster. Off tackle and end run are his key spots. Looking past AJ Green, guessed right on the quarterback's card, -2. Larry's having trouble logging into Hamachi. Let me invite him to this broadcast. Third and 10. Must run on Tannehill's card goes for 15 yards and a first down. He would have got a first down on 2 through 6. That is a nice must run card. Very, very much like Russell Wilson's must run card. Doesn't have quite as many must run chances as Wilson, but still came through in a big way. First and 10. Saints out to their 35. Jeremy Hill in the game. End run to Hill. 22-yard gain on Snake Eyes. So Hill has piled up an impressive 109 yards on 7 carries. Really, it's been two carries that have gotten those yards. An 80-yard carry for a touchdown on a long gain on off tackle 11, and that 22-yard gain and an in run. The other carries amounted to a total of 7 yards. Birmingham is switched to a 4-3 after the Saints go out in a pro set formation. Now, in Spring Fever, you can use halfbacks in the fullback spot. So you have DeAnthony Thomas there next to Jeremy Hill. It's a flat pass to now Paul. Guessed right, incomplete. So Gene perhaps is trying to get him to call run with those two excellent runners in the backfield, but Joe's sticking to a pass call, forcing him to throw into guessed right coverage. Second and 10. Saints at the Stallions 43. Six-yard pickup there, guessed right off Jeremy Hill's card. That was the white die one coming up again. Would have been a 6-yard gain, right or wrong. So we got 3rd and 4. Birmingham trying to force a decision here in no man's land for the Saints. Pro set off tackle left to DeAnthony Thomas. That would not have been good on Thomas's card, but on the D card, offensive guard +5 or +0. Josh Sitton's 6 roll is just what the doctor ordered, as the white die was also a 6. So 1st and 10 now. Saints trailing by 14, looking to get one of those touchdowns back on this drive. They stick with the pro set with Hill and Thomas in the backfield. First and 10 at the Birmingham 32. Looking past to Niles Paul. Guessed right, 1 man in zone. It's incomplete on Tannehill's 10 roll. The linebacker on the other side had double-teamed A.J. Green. 2nd and 10. 3 wide formation now for the Saints.
I think Jake Bird is a lot better when he starts the inning off. A nice eighth inning there, and of course, Brad's going to finish it off. So it worked out just right.
3rd and 11. Lawrence has joined us. I had to mute you, Lawrence. Instant message me if you want to take part in the broadcast, but I had that sporting news background noise I had to shut out. So it's 3rd and 11 after a 1-yard run by Hill. There was a linebacker in the zone that stopped that from being a big gain, well, a 12-yard gain anyway, which is a big gain on this part of the field. So it's 3rd and 11 at the Birmingham 33. Another 3-wide formation. We have a pass rushing specialist checking into the game, Ryan Davis. And run left to Tannehill. So watch out for the white die 1. But there's that 8-roll, 12-yard pickup. No, it goes for 22 yards as the linebacker had moved out of the way. Hey, Lawrence, what's up?
Hey, good. How are you doing?
Good. I'm going to go ahead and mute you, okay?
Yeah, I'm trying to find the mute button.
Oh, I can do it from here.
Do it. Yeah. Okay.
Perfect. All right. Actually, it's at the top, Lawrence. There's a little bar that's at the top. It has like a mute microphone. I think you're muted now, but in case you wanted to know for the future. So we got 1st and 10. Birmingham leading this game, but the Saints are knocking on the door at the Stallions 11. Short pass to A.J. Green, single covered. There's linebackers coming. It's a 10-yard gain on Tannehill's card. Nice short pass hit, and that'll make it 1st and goal at the 1. Time to bring in the big, heavy jumbo set and pound this one in. It's a slow, deliberate pace in today's game. I think both coaches know the importance of this game. They do not want to get caught making a mistake, because one mistake in this situation can cost you. Now, if you're on the defense here and you see DeAnthony Thomas, Jeremy Hill, and Ryan Tannehill as your options, I think you're going to key either Tannehill or Jeremy Hill, because DeAnthony Thomas, guessed right, has got a lot of negatives on his card. But look at me. I'm totally wrong. Gene says I'll still run with that guy. The call was just a straight run call. DeAnthony Thomas picks up positive yardage on 2, 3, 4, 9, and 12, and he hit the 2 for +2 and a touchdown. So he would have had me guessing wrong. That makes it 21-14. We saw earlier the Stallions get a 99-yard kick return for a touchdown from Travis Cadet. So he'll bring this one out again, hoping to hit it. Oh, he hit it again! My, oh my. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on my kick returner. Travis Cadet had not hit that number at all during the regular season. And today, he's hit it twice, folks. Once for a touchdown. This one takes it down to the 1-yard line. He must have ran out of gas there at the end of the return, because he was tripped up with the end zone right in front of him. It's a short pass to Dez Bryant against a pass call, 4-man in zone. A 9 here on the D card could be a pick. There's a 24% chance of a sack. Willie Young against his guy. Instead, it's the Xavier Rhodes making the play on the white die 5 roll. So we had Tyron Smith against Willie Young as the pass rush matchup, and Smith held him off long enough for the pass to get off. Off tackle left to Turbin, touchdown. Guessed wrong, +7. Even if he had guessed right, it would have been a touchdown. He would have had to key to stop that play. So, 2 big kick returns. There's a lot of points going on in this game, folks. We had an 80-yard touchdown run by Jeremy Hill, 2 long touchdown returns, 1 for a touchdown, 1 just shy of a touchdown by Travis Cadet. And this is a barn burner, folks. Now we have the Saints taking over at their own 12. They'll have to drive 88 yards for a touchdown here to cut back into that lead. Big plays, turnovers make the difference in these playoff games. Now, normally in other leagues, I might say penalties and injuries also play a part, but there are no penalties in spring fever. There are no injuries in spring fever. So take those two factors out of the luck equation, and you're stuck with big plays and turnovers as the deciding factor typically in these playoff games. 3 wide for the Saints. The Stallions go 3-3-5. Looking past to AJ Green. Guessed right, +6. So we got 4:30 to go in the first half. Let's take a look at who gets the ball first. I know I looked at the ball possession earlier. So the Saints got the ball first in the first half. That means the Birmingham, keep saying Birmingham Stallions. It's the Birmingham Americans. Excuse me. I was thinking the old USFL team was who he named it after, but he went with Birmingham Americans. I don't know. Is there a history there, or is that just a made-up name? Sounds legit. Be an arena league team. Oh, I missed something. Look at that. A long pass on a guessed wrong run call. A long pass from Tannehill to AJ Green hits for 30 yards. If it would have been guessed right, it would have been incomplete. So we've seen a lot of Jeremy Hill run calls out of this single back set. And that time, Joe decided to call run, just try to stop it, and Gene hit him on the break. Yeah, so the Birmingham Americans were in the World Football League. The Birmingham Stallions were in the USFL. So interesting. I had forgotten about the World Football League Birmingham franchise. Off tackle run to Jeremy Hill, guessed wrong for 4 yards. That'll make it 2nd and 6, 3:18 to go in the half. The Saints switch to a pro set. Let's see how the Americans respond. Went a whole quarter calling them the Stallions. Looking past DeAnthony Thomas, the linebacker had been plugging a zone, so that's an empty zone, short gain, guessed right, but it hit the D cards, and that's +12. That'll make it 1st and 10 at the Birmingham 36. So nice response here from Gene, falling behind by 2 touchdowns for the second time in this game. He's putting a nice drive together to try to cut into that 14-point lead. Three wide against the 3-3-5. Notice that long pass was not to Nate Washington. I still think that's going to come up, and here it is. Long pass to Nate Washington, 0 mid in zone, against covered by a 0, and that's incomplete. If he had called run on that play, it would have been another long gain. So 2nd and 10. That's the one favorable matchup that the Saints have against this tough Birmingham defense. I formation for the Saints. The Americans respond with a 4-3 base defense. Flat pass left to Tate. It's a run call, but it's on the D cards. It's the interception split. 2 through 5, 11, and 12 were a pick. So despite it being a run call, it would have been on the quarterback's card. That would have been a short gain. But on the D card, that's incomplete or worse, intercepted. Tannehill struggling a little bit. 7 of 17 so far for 97 yards. 3rd and 10 now. So this is a key down here. You're in 4-down territory, I think. If you pick up, especially if you break contain, you're going to go for it, or maybe try a long field goal, depending on who his kicker is. 3-3-5 against the 3 wide offense. Jeremy Hill is in the game. Might see him off tackle behind that 6 guard and off tackle, reduced to a 5 because of the formation. But if you can get offensive guard +5, +7, or +2, that might be worth it. It's a flat pass left to Hill. Guessed right, defender +1 or +3, and that's only going to pick up a yard. That makes it 4th and 7. You're right outside that 32 cutoff for the field goal, but the variable field goal rule could bring that back in. If he had gone to the other side, it would have made it 4th and 1. because that linebacker was vacating the area coming in on a blitz. The last thing you want to do here is punt. He's going to try a long field goal with Nick Folk. 2 minutes to go in the half. Of course, the problem with this is if he misses it, they'll have good territory. They'll have good starting field position, and they do. It was a 2 through 6 from that range. The field goal was modified by 3, so that cut down on his chances considerably. And the Americans take over on their own 40, 152. They have a chance to go up 3 touchdowns, and they can get the ball first, and they will get the ball first in the second half. So the Saints defense needs to stand tall here. Ideally, they would stop them or force a turnover and give the Saints one more chance to score before the half is over. Three wide formation. McCoy is checked into the game in the backfield. Mercedes Lewis is a nice target, but he can't go deep. It's a flat pass right to Bolden. Linebacker in zone, extra short gain. It's a 4 rated linebacker there, Jason Babin. Last time he missed the play. This time he makes it. Big play there by the Saints. 2nd and 10. Again, you go 3 and out, you can get the ball back and go for one more score, especially with a guy like Jeremy Hill there who can hit a big play, hit a big run, and get you into scoring position in a hurry. Or even Tannehill, those in runs, he's got a couple of those that are really nice as well. Slow down again. Off tackle left to McCoy. Guessed wrong, unless it hits that white die 1. But McCoy's kind of chunky, so if you don't hit one of those edge numbers, you're not getting very far, and he only picked up 2 guessed wrong. That'll bring up 3rd and 8. Saints elect not to call timeout, so the clock goes down to 1:15. Of course, Gene's worried that if he converts this 3rd down, then suddenly he's got a lot more flexibility as the half winds down with all 3 of his timeouts still. Plus the clock stopped. So he lets it run down to 1:15 to go. 28-14, Americans on top. Again, the pace is slow and steady. 4 wide against a 3-3-5. Off tackle left to Turbin, trying to break contain and pick up a first. Picks up 3 yards. Guess right, as a white die 1 rears his ugly head. Now, if that had been a white die 3, that would have broken contain against Terrell Smith. So the Americans will punt, and the Saints will get the ball back. Nice stand by the Saints defense. 51-yard punt. $12-yard return. So Saints will start at the 30 with 1 minute left in the half. Nice punt return card by Frankie Hammond there. Tannehill goes 3 wide against the 3-3-5. Pass rush specialist is in the game, and Ryan Davis. So you could see an end run over to that edge. Long pass to AJ Green. Guess right. It's a long gain on a 10 roll. Green takes it to the house. Wow, a 70-yard touchdown pass. So we've had 5 big plays, just huge plays. Crazy, amazing game. And the Saints, looking at being down possibly 21 and not getting the ball first, have cut that 14-point lead after a good defensive stand following the missed field goal. Got a good defensive stand, then hit a long gain on Tannehill's card for a 70-yard touchdown, and now that 14-point lead is only 7. 37 seconds to go in the half now. Gene points out that that was the first touchdown he's seen that the kick return did not run it back 99 yards. Bummer, says Joe. So they started their 18, 4 wide against probably a 3-3-5. And there it is, 3-3-5. At this point, I think I might have McCoy in the game instead of Turbin. If you're going to run it, you might want to hit one of those big numbers. Or maybe he's looking to just pass it down the field. The 14, 15, 16-yard gains from Turbin's cards is not going to help you get into field goal range quickly enough. Looking past Anquan Bolden. Nobody there. All the linebackers are blitzing. On the D card, that would have been another long gain, but instead it was on the old card, incomplete. Guessed right. France is beating Iceland 5-1. So the dream of Iceland reaching the semifinals in the Euros has come to an end. 2nd and 10 here. Now McCoy's in the game. He must have heard me. Long pass to Wallace, being double covered. Defender extra plus 27. That's going to be incomplete. Even without a double team, that would have been incomplete. Harrison Smith is a 5. Excellent guy to have for your first DB, your third cornerback. Of course, Smith isn't a cornerback, but his 5 rating as a free safety works well, covering that slot receiver. Long pass to Des Bryant. I think he's guarded by a 6. It's a long gain. Another big play. Birmingham this time is looking to cash in. 22 seconds left. They hit a 61-yard play, and the hits just keep on coming, folks. 61-yard completion there. And that takes it down to the Saints' 21-yard line with 15 seconds left. So he has a chance to get it back to double-digit leads before the half. And the Americans, they'll get the ball first. Traveris Cadet checks into the game. Apparently, he's finally recovered his from being winded on those 2 long kick return cards, and he's in to say hi. And let me look at his card. Can he go deep or something? Why is he in the game? He can. Look at that. So you might see a deep pass to Cadet, or he might just be showing that to get Gene to pay a little extra attention to him. So Matt Ryan hits on a long gain, guessed right, for 61 yards. 8-16 for 171 for Ryan. You're going to see similar numbers for Tannehill, I'm sure. can take a look real quick since they're taking a long time to call the play. Tannehill's 9 of 19 for 170. So like I said, very similar numbers today. Let's go to the options and turn on the other highlights on the box score. It's going to reveal quite a few, I think. Big plays galore in today's game. Well, that was interesting. The offense took a timeout, then the defense took a timeout. So they'll reset it again. Birmingham still has 2 timeouts left, and there's only 15 seconds. So they could take they get a completion here, short pass. They take another timeout if they don't get out of bounds. They'll still have time for 3 plays, and that's all they're getting anyway, with that amount of time left, and no penalties. Flat pass right to Cadet. He's double covering him. Are we going to see a flat pass pick 6? Tie this game up? No. It's a receiver reading incomplete. 8 seconds left. The computer is suggesting kicking a field goal, but there's no reason to do that yet. You should go ahead and run another play, because there's no penalties in this game. You don't have to worry about an offensive penalty with 1 second left wiping out your field goal opportunity. And you have timeout, so you don't have to worry about the clock running out. So don't listen to the computer. Joe's not listening to me, and he's kicking the field goal. Don't want to take any chances, I guess. 2 through 10's up and good. It'll be 31-21 at the half. So we'll see an onside kick here. Not to give him a chance for a long return. Well, it's a squib kick. Pretty much amounts to the same thing. And that takes us to halftime. So the Saints have overcome 2 long kick return for touchdowns and a bomb to keep the score within 10 points, while Birmingham's used those kick returns. They've held on despite some big plays by Tannehill and the Saints offense. Let's look at the box score again and look at these big plays. We had a 49-yard pass play from Matt Ryan to Des Bryant. Then we had a kick return for 99 yards that went for a touchdown. We had an 80-yard run by Jeremy Hill for a touchdown for the Saints. Cadet's kick return was 98 yards and a touchdown. Then another 99-yard return that set up a touchdown, set up Robert Turbin's 1-yard touchdown run. I thought it was Matt Ryan, but it was Turbin's. And then A.J. Green hauled in a Tannehill pass for 70 yards to make it 28-21. And then we saw that last drive set up by a 61-yard pass from Matt Ryan to Des Bryant. So there it is, folks. A total of 52 points in the first half combined. We had a pedestrian return there by Cadet of 16 yards. Though the Americans will take over 1st and 10 at their own 18. Had a little chit chat during the break. Exciting half, lots of big plays, and it has been a good game. Very exciting to watch as a spectator. In run right to McCoy. Guess wrong. Changed to a guess right due to the white die 1, but still picks up 9 yards. It would have been 9 yards either way. 2nd and 1. 4 wide with Turbo in the backfield. Saints would like to bottle this drive up and get the ball back. Okay, we get the 3-3-5 defensive response from Gene. Might be a line buck here for Turbin, or a flat pass. Ryan's got a good flat pass card. It is a flat pass left to Andre Holmes, going at the 5 linebacker. Picks up 6 yards. So even if you don't run it with Turbin, the threat of Turbin makes it easier to get some guest run calls. Although Gene stuck to his guns and was guessed right, but there's still a first down on the play. First and 10, Birmingham at their own 33 now. And run left to McCoy. Picks up 3, guessed wrong, 2nd and 7. Turbin's in the game in a I formation, so the white die 1 won't be a factor here. What will be a factor is whether the Saints call run or pass. It's a long pass to Des Bryant. They stick to the pass call, so it's going to be guessed right. 1-0 man in zone, and the 7's incomplete. Would have been incomplete even guessed wrong, but wrong, right, or double. It's a blank. Third and 7. Four wide against the 3-3-5. Pace is very deliberate. Off tackle left to Turbin, guessed wrong, but there's a high chance of containment, but it breaks containment as Daryl, what is his name? Daryl Smith. He is a 6'5" rated linebacker, so it had to be a white die 3 to break containment, and it broke containment. So nice call there by Joe. Turbin's having a decent game, 7 runs for 39 yards. Still, we got a 3 wide with McCoy. Flat pass right to Wallace. The DB covering Wallace, Harrison Smith, had been pulled back to the long pass zone, so that would have been guessed wrong on the receiver reading, but instead it was on Matt Ryan's card, guessed right, +5. The Birmingham Americans are inching closer to field goal range. Short pass to Anquan Bolden, single covered, 4-man in zone. Ooh, picked off. Matt Ryan's guessed right card. 2 through 6 is an interception. It's a split of 3. So forget about field goal. The Saints come up with a big stop. Like I said, big plays and turnovers. We hadn't seen very many turnovers yet, or any. And there's our first one. First and 10. Saints take over on their own 37. First misstep today by the Americans. Line buck to Jeremy Hill. Guessed wrong. 1-man in zone. Or 0-man in zone, excuse me. But the defensive left tackle, -1 or +8, that reads off the nose tackle on a 3-3-5. That sent Derek Marks reduced from a 5 to a 4, but he still made the play. So that brings up second and long. Could have been second and short after an 8-yard pickup. Same formations. End run right to Hill. Short gain. Guessed wrong for 14 yards. Now, if the white die 1 had come up, that would have been a 0-yard gain, or if he had called run, 0-yard gain. So the ball's at midfield. The Saints looking to cut it back to a single score lead. Off tackle left to DeAnthony Thomas. Guessed wrong, but the roll was on the D cards. Blocking back 0 or -2. Jeremy Hill is 0. So he cannot help out with a block, and it loses 2 yards. Second and 12. Jeremy Hill back in the game in a single back set, 3 wide against 3-3-5. Long pass in 8 Washington. 0-man in zone covered by a 0. No sack chance, turns into a dump off for 6 yards. That'll bring up 3rd and 6. Birmingham has a good pass defense, base 4-3. The Saints have a excellent run defense and good pass defense. You can see Tannehill's card can pick up the first down on 5, 6, or 3. 5, 6, 3, or 12 on a flat pass. He could run it, try to get into 4-down territory here, because you're kind of right outside of field goal range, kind of in no man's land. Flat pass right to Golden Tate. He's being double covered by a linebacker, so this is going to be good for the offense. No, it's not good for the offense. He was being double covered by the free safety. So that means that Josh Norman's rating. Oh, I'm sorry. Norman's made a tackle. Somebody's joined in here, and I'm going to mute them. Lawrence is back in on a different connection. Hey, Lawrence, can you hit that mute button, please? 57-yard punt goes into the end zone. Thank you, sir. So it's now 1st and 10 Birmingham as they hold off the scoring threat after the interception. Turbin in the game in a high formation. See how many unfatigued carries Turbo has. He's got 5 unfatigued carries left. So You could see him carry the ball. It's a flat pass left to Turbo. 0 min in zone. It's going to be guessed right, but if it hits on the D card, it could be a big gain. 23% chance of a sack, though, as Michael Bennett's going to go up against Marcus Gilbert here in the challenge. And no sack. Guessed wrong on the receiver card, but still found a blank on a 7. So 2nd and 10. Three wide now for the Americans. 7:30 to go in the third quarter. Good sack chances on 1 and 3 if there's a D that comes up. Short pass to Mercedes Lewis, incomplete on Matt Ryan's card. So that bring up 3rd and 10. Just what the doctor orders for the Saints if they can get a 3 and out here. Of course, it would have been better if they had been able to pin them inside the 10, but the punt was just the right amount of yardage to trickle into the end zone. Four wide now, it looks like. Saints lead by 10. I'm sorry, the Saints trail by 10. The Americans lead by 10. Third and 10, 4 wide. No tight end in the game. Turbo in the backfield. 3-3-5 for the defense. Lots of 6s and 5s out there for Gene. Short pass to Des Bryant being double covered by the free safety, but it hits on Ryan's double team number on 7 for plus 11. So 7-11, lucky roll there for the Americans. They'll take it. 1st and 10 at the Birmingham 31. Oh, I had the microphone on mute there, folks. So I missed a couple calls. That was a big third down conversion. 3rd and 4, he hit a flat pass that turned into a guessed wrong one, and it was a short gain. Short pass to Anquan Bolden, and that goes incomplete. That was a big third down conversion there, because if he had just left that linebacker there and called pass, it would have been incomplete, and he would have had to punt. But now it's 2nd and 10. What I was also talking about before was the old run draw call. You know, if you're new to Strat, let me go over a couple things real quick, because I think I was muting when I was talking about it before. But when you're calling your run, when you're picking your box to run into with your run call, there is no draw calls for end runs. So these two boxes here are just straight end runs. For off tackle, this is a normal off tackle. These are draws. And this box right here next to the quarterback is a draw line buck. Long pass to Mike Wallace being double covered. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Andre Holmes is being double covered. That means he's single covered, and he hits it again. Matt Ryan's as hot as a firecracker here as we come close to the 4th of July. That's a 34-yard completion, and it's 1st and 10 at the 13. The Saints have got to focus on stopping them and holding them to a field goal, so you're not down 3 scores. You only want to be down 2 scores. 3:54 to go in the 3rd quarter. But we saw Joe earlier on 2nd and 3 run an off tackle draw there from this type of formation. If you run here, it's just a regular off tackle. But if you run right over the guard, left or right, that's a draw. And if the defense calls run, that turns it into a key or maximum min in zone on the D card. You can also run a draw on a line bug by clicking the box next to Ryan. It's a short pass to Cadet, 4 min in zone. There's a sack chance, 64% chance of a sack as Marcel Darius goes to work on Hugh Thornton, and he brings it down the quarterback. Nice job calling pass there against the full house by Gene, and this really does help him try to hold this to a field goal. Minimize the damage. You want to be down 13, not 17. Second and 17. The one good thing on that sack is that the Americans are now able to throw a deep pass. You might see that here. Andre Holmes is covered by a 4. Last time we saw a bomb to Mike Wallace, even though he's covered by a 6, and it hit on Ryan's 5 roll. Guessed right for a long gain. Maybe we'll see a flat here. No, it's an off tackle to Turbin, hoping to get one of his 6, 7, 8 numbers guessed wrong. But the white die 6 here changes that to a guessed right run, a 5-yard gain. So it'll be 3rd and 12, which is a much better third down than 3rd and 17. But still a tough get. Maybe he goes back to that formation and tries another run for Turbin, hoping to get to 3 to break contain. Or hit an 8 on the D card. Third and 12. He goes 4 wide, and he does leave Turbin in the game. Turbin is down to 3 unfatigued carries with 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Long pass to Des Bryant. You can't throw a long pass here. It's going to be 2 minute zone, and it's picked off. That's another thing you need to know from the rules. If you're inside the 20 and you throw long, you can still hit a 5 on the quarterback's card. You know, you can hit a guess right reading on the quarterback's card. But if you go on the D card, that turns into a 2 minute zone situation and really increases the chance of an interception. Joe says nice play, but Joe, I think that's an indication that you may have forgotten that rule. It was a white die 6 too. So if he had thrown a short pass to one of his receivers covered by a 5, that would have been a short gain and likely a touchdown. So here we go. The Saints are back in it. They've been extended a lifeline. Twice they've gotten interceptions here and have been able to minimize the damage. In run right to Jeremy Hill. There's a man in zone. It's going to be guessed wrong unless the white die 1 comes up, and there it did. That would have been 0 either way, though. That isn't one of his big hits. So 2nd and 10. 2:06 to go. The Saints would love to drive down and get some points here to cut it to a single-score game. And we're on the verge of it becoming a 3-score game. And now if the Saints can put together a drive, it will be a 1-score game. Looking past the Golden Tate, single covered, no man in zone, +9. That'll make it 3rd and 1. Nice job by Gene there, sniffing out what that Joe was going to leave his middle open. Big play here. High formation for the Saints. It's a line buck to Tannehill. Quarterback sneak style. Goes for 7 yards. Even with the man in zone, that was still a first down. Would have been a 3-yard pickup. 54 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Saints trailing by 10. After a 52-point first half outburst, we are scoreless here in the second half. You often see that in Strat. Sometimes it's just the dice going cold. Other times it's each coach figuring out how to stop the other. 4 wide now for the Saints. They bring in Miles Austin as their 4th receiver. He's covered by a 0. Jeremy Hill in the game. He's very dangerous on those edge numbers. Guessed wrong. Off tackle right to Hill. 0 man in zone, but the roll is the old 10. Offensive blocking back 0 or -2, and he loses 2 yards. Even with Virgil Green and his 6th rated blocking back rating, that still would have been a 0-yard gain. That's what you're facing when you have a good run D. This is a good run D card. So 2nd and 12, 18 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. 3 wide. We got Ryan Davis checking in at defensive end. And of course, there's a 0-rated cornerback covering Nate Washington. 0-rated DB, excuse me. Tony Jefferson, who's usually a safety. No longer with the Cardinals. He landed somewhere else, I believe. Long pass to Nate Washington, trying to go back to that 0-rated defender. But it's incomplete on the quarterback's card, 3rd and 12. Now, if he had thrown short there, 20/20 vision, that would have made it 3rd and 1. I think Tannehill has an 11 on his 7 roll, right, wrong, or doubled. But hindsight's 20/20. Third and 12. 3 wide. Have not seen the formation yet for Birmingham. Looks like it's going to be 3-3-5, and it is. Short pass to A.J. Green. He's double covered, and that's incomplete. Nice double there by Joe. I'm sorry. Yeah, that is by Joe. Tannehill is a +10 on 7, not +11. So that would have been a first down, 12 yards exactly. But Joe with the correct double team at the correct time. So Birmingham will get the ball back. The Saints will have to punt. 52-yard boot by Ryan Allen. Dexter McCluster waits under it, and he returns it 7 yards. So 1st and 10, Birmingham at their own 21. Dez Bryant, Mike Wallace, LaShawn McCoy, Mercedes Lewis, Anquan Bolden. Skilled players on the field for the Americans. Saints have an excellent run defense, so this has been the plan of attack by Joe, is to air it out, hit some big plays. It's another long pass attempt, this time to Dez Bryant. It turns into a dump off for a short gain. And 1st and 10, Birmingham at their own 38. When he's been running with Turbin, usually from a single back set where, McCoy as well, where a white die one can make a guess right. Three wide against a 3-3-5. McCoy in the backfield. Flat pass right to Wallace. Wallace's defenders pulled back, so a receiver reading will be guessed wrong, but it's just guessed right on the quarterback's card, +4. 13-12 to go in the game. A couple more first downs, and the Americans will be in field goal range. Second and 6. Flat pass left to Turbo. Guessed wrong. Short gain on Tannehill's or on Matt Ryan's card. So 1st and 10, inching closer to field goal range. A touchdown here would make it 3 scores. I said that before. First and 10, 3 wide formation. Yeah, bud. Thank you, buddy. Yeah.
He pays for his lunch. No, I just pay.
Long gain there as the kids were giving me a little rundown of their karate practice, and it was a receiver reading, guessed right on Mike Wallace's card, another 30-plus yard play, 44-yard touchdown from Matt Ryan to Mike Wallace. 60 minutes has gone by in a blur. Joe is running riot. Joe and his Americans are running riot over the New Orleans Saints. It'll take a miracle for the Saints to get back in this one, or at least a couple more big plays. It's a kick 9 yards deep, and he will take a knee. Start at the 20. The Saints trail by 17 with 12:18 to go in the game.
Stop him from eating nachos. Tell him that he can only eat waffles at lunch.
Oh, you dropped one. Pick it up. Off tackle right to Jeremy Hill. Now the Saints need to pick up some big plays. You got to cover a lot of ground in a hurry. 2nd and 8. Pro set. You might see some D'Anthony Thomas runs now. End run to D'Anthony Thomas. There it is. Hits the O card though, and only picks up 7. He wants it to, well, sorry, he hits the D card there and only picks up 7. He wants it on the O card, maybe not on that roll because it's a 5, but third and 1, 11:06 to go in the game. Every possession now is a must-score possession for the Saints. I'd say you're in 4-down territory all the way here. And if the Americans keep going to a 3-2-6, you just got to keep running. Especially with those runners, you're going to pick up first downs left and right. At least get that first touchdown on the backs of Jeremy Hill and D'Anthony Thomas. Thomas has 5 unfatigued runs left. Hill has 7. So looking past at D'Anthony Thomas, it's going to be guessed right on the quarterback's card, guessed wrong on a receiver reading. Got to go through the motions of a sack chance but there's no sack chance. Guessed right for +6. First and 10. Again, we see 3-2-6 for the Americans, and it's a flat pass right to Golden Tate, being double covered by a linebacker. It's going to be guessed wrong on the receiver reading, but it only hits for +5. Lawrence had to go. Kept getting kicked off for some reason. Not sure what's up with that. But the broadcast seems to be proceeding correctly, and maybe Lawrence will join us later. Pro set against the 3-2-6. Now this, you just got to run against that thing. Guessed right for +6. It's another first down. But I think your guessed wrong running on your cards are so good that you want to exploit that. If he's going 3-2-6 with a 0 at defensive end, just keep running. Instead, he goes to 3 wide. Where if you run, you're subject to that guessed right on the wide die 1. Long pass, incomplete on Tannehill's card. I still would go with that, especially D'Anthony Thomas. Pick up a couple of short gains, boom, boom, boom. You're inside the 20 before you know it. 2nd and 10, 3 wide. Jeremy Hill in the game. Tannehill deep is not the greatest connection. Although we've seen a lot of big plays today, so who am I to say? Flat pass left to A.J. Green, being double covered by the outside linebacker. That's going to turn into a short gain. So Gene's moving the ball. That was an 18-yard pickup. The 1st and 10 at the Birmingham 36. You got to get points here. Ideally a touchdown. At the minimum, a field goal. You need 3 scores. There's no 2 ways about it. 3 wide formation against the 3-2-6. Joe just wants that clock to tick down. Tick, 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 tick. Gene wants it to go very slowly. Get as many possessions as he could. He'd be lucky if he gets 3 possessions. Probably will, but he needs 3 touchdowns. End run right to Hill. Guessed wrong. Picks up 4. Takes it down to the 32. Hill, 16 runs for 135 so far. An 8.4 yards per carry average. We saw that 80-yarder earlier that made up the bulk of those carries. Since then, you've had 15 carries for 55 yards. Second and 6, 3 wide against the 3-2-6. Long pass to Nate Washington, single covered by a 0. 1 man in zone. It's a dump off, 5 yards, 3rd and 1. 7:12 to go in the game. The longer that Joe can prolong these drives, and the longer he can keep the ball after that, the less likely that Gene can complete this comeback. Because believe me, folks, it would take a miracle at this point. Maybe not a miracle, a minor miracle. How's that? Third and 1. I formation with Virgil Green in the backfield as the blocking back. Lined up against a 3-3-5. Will Joe call run here? He's been going 3-2-6 most of this drive, so he hasn't had the opportunity, but he can here. Maybe he's thinking, I'll mix it up with a key of Hill or Tannehill. It's a long pass to A.J. Green, 2 men in zone. Dump off for 30 yards, and this is going in the end zone, folks. So the call was not working for Gene's favor, but the result certainly did. You throw a deep pass with 2 men in zone, you're nervous about a pick. But instead, it turned into a dump off. Jeremy Hill takes it 27 yards in for the touchdown, and that cuts the lead to 10 points. That's exactly what New Orleans needed. You can still kick deep here and get us 3 and out and try to get the ball back. Oh, no. The 3rd time today. Travaris Cadet. What is going on? The special teams coordinator for the New Orleans Saints shouldn't even get on the plane to go back. Or there's no plane. They're actually in New Orleans. He shouldn't even go back to the locker room. He should just get in his car, drive home, and not even come back. The 3rd time today, the Birmingham Americans have landed on Travaris Cadet's 99-yard return. 3 times in the thing. I think even Gene is like laughing at this. Like, what do I have to do? That's 21 points that you've basically given away and you have to overcome. And that, folks, is a hard thing to do. Without those 21 points, this might be an entirely different game. Well, it would be, of course, but not to say that Birmingham still couldn't win. But man, and the Saints have had their fair share of luck today, but nothing like that. That's just a backbreaker. In a playoff game, in an elimination game, to hit that 3 times, woof! My oh my. Beware future opponents of Birmingham. Maybe you want to squib kick those. He's red hot. End run left to Hill. Picks up 10. Defensive end -4 plus 10. Picks up 10. 0 men in zone. Hill's under 5 unfatigued carries left, I'm sure. No, he's exactly at 5. 17 for 145. End run left to Hill again, 0 men there. But the roll is the 10. The bailout 10, I call it. +4 or -2. There is no blocking back in that formation, so he loses 2 yards. Gene was hoping for 2 there to go for 36 yards, or 12 there to go for 10 more, or even an 8. Well, we captured history here today, folks. We got to see the best of Traveris Cadet. Short pass to Golden Tate picks up 11. That'll bring up 3rd and 1. Tannehill hasn't played bad. It's the special teams that have really cost the Saints today, and you can't control that. Let's be honest. 4:30 to go in the game. 3-2-6 against a I formation. You're going to see an end run to Hill here. Or off tackle to Hill, excuse me. Picks up 5. 1st and 10, 3:54 to go. You got to get points in a hurry. Didn't I just say that earlier? Of course, this game is all over but the crying. Three wide against a 3-2-6. And run left to Hill. 0 in there. Guess wrong. Picks up 3. Does get out of bounds. Stops the clock. And run left to Hill. There's the linebacker there this time. Would have been a 12-yard game, but instead it's -1. Again, he gets out of bounds, though, so that helps. 3rd and 8. Let's take a look at that box score now. Well, let's wait till after this play. 3-2-6 against 3 wide. Short pass to Nate Washington, hoping that he would have pulled the extra DB back, but he did not. That would have been +12 if he had done that to make it 3-minute zone. Fourth and 8. Got to go for it. Short pass to Pitta. Single covered. Receiver reading incomplete, and that ends the threat. You'll see a couple of runs here. You'll see some kneel downs after the 2-minute warning goes off, and the Birmingham Americans have pulled off the upset. I think the Saints were the higher seed. Let's take a look at that final Spring Fever League file. Let's see where we at. First down, a loss for 1 yard. So I don't have it. I only have up through quarter 3 in my stuff. Let me go grab it. Spring Fever, regular season. Second and 11. Off tackle to Churchman. He's guessed wrong, but he still loses yardage as the defense plugs the zone. Restore. So the Saints were 13-3. Birmingham was 10-6. Still, both of them pretty healthy seasons. Let's see. Did the Saints? They did play during the regular season, and the Saints beat them 27-17. So Birmingham went back to the drawing board and came up with a good game plan and some damn good rolling. 3rd and 13 here, 4 wide. Just take a knee. I don't think Gene's going to call a timeout, but he goes 4 wide, and she's going to try to go for it. Maybe try to hit Turbin off tackle for an 8 on the D card. Again, draw, draw, draw. Got to be careful of those draws. Turbin, 11 runs today for 40 yards and a touchdown. I'll take a left to Turbin, hoping to hit a big number on his card, or that 8 doesn't hit, and Turbin is fatigued. 4th and 14. You're going to see the punt team come on. The defense is still playing hard. This would really take a miracle, not even a minor miracle. This would take a real miracle. Fumble -1. Saints recover it. They can't advance it, though. It would have been nice for them to get that, too, for a touchdown. But Strat is a cruel mistress sometimes. Doesn't always reward you for, it will even out over time, but in a single game, you're not going to have the luck always even out. This one's definitely been tilted towards Birmingham. And run right to Hill, guessed wrong, -1, right at 5. Trying to hit that 12 for +60 and get out of bounds. He'll hurry. I'm sure he'd like to get one more touchdown, make it a 10-point game. Try to recover an onside kick at least, see what would have happened if he wouldn't have given up that last kick return touchdown. Flat pass right to Tate. 0 in zone. It's going to be guess right. 0 in. Guess right on the quarterback's card. 0 in on the D card. He needs to hit a snake eyes on the D card and go for a long gain. Nope, only a 3-yard gain, guessed right on the receiver reading. It's almost like a tight end's flat pass card with the +12 and +15 in there. Third and 8. If this doesn't work, it's possible he punts. He might go for it again. Short pass to Tate. 4 men in zone. Receiver reading incomplete. So Tannehill hasn't had much help from his receivers today. 4th and 8. One more chance. Yes. You want a hot dog or a sandwich?
Hot dog with chips.
And onions?
Yes. Yeah, and sour cream.
Okay, you got it.
I'll
Okay, then don't eat any more of that. So get the hot dogs out. I got to make lunch for the boys. Here, bring me that tray right there in the toaster. And Koji, you bring me the dogs right there on top. So a couple of knees here and we're going to be over with. Gene with the congratulations. I think even, good sense of humor there, even with this, what can you do? When you're facing those kind of odds stacked against you, it would have been almost impossible to overcome. That's what happens in the playoffs. That's the nature of a single elimination tournament. Things are going to go against you, and sometimes there's not a damn thing you can do about it. You just hope it doesn't happen like this in the playoffs. It's okay if in the regular season you're faced with this, but it's tough to overcome in the playoffs. Look at those returns. So that's it, folks. It was a good game. Look at all these big plays. Boom, boom, boom. Alrighty, so I'm going to log off here, go feed my kids lunch. So 2:28 here, and we'll see you guys on the road. Good luck in the next round, Joe, and good season, Gene. Way to show good sportsmanship too. Take care. Bye.